Presidency reacts to OBASANJO'S criticism. Nigeria assumes chairmanship of AU Security Council. Army extends Operation Cart Race in Taraba State. Secretary to Ebonyi State Government resigns. Details of this and other stories in a moment. Welcome to the news at this time on Television Nigerian. I am Eunice Johnson. In a reaction to the remarks credited to the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, which described the present administration as a failure, the presidency has stated its unwillingness to join issues with the former leader. Special Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, in a response stated that the statement issued few months ago by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, in response to the earlier criticism made against the government by Obasanjo, had adequately addressed the issue raised. He maintained that the APC-led federal government would keep making references to the failures of the past administration with a view to guiding against such mistakes in future. Adesina further emphasized that Buhari's administration has successfully tackled mismanagement of the nation's economy, as Nigeria now has more savings in its foreign reserve than ever before. Nigeria's permanent representative to the Africa Union AU, Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, has assumed the chairmanship of the Africa Union Peace and Security Council as Nigeria assumes a one-month rotational chairmanship of the Union for April 2018. Adeoye took over from Ambassador Zakariau Maiga, the permanent representative of the Republic of Niger, who was the Council's chair for March 2018. According to a statement from the Nigeria's permanent mission to the AU in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the Peace and Security Council under Nigeria's chairmanship will focus on addressing the threats posed by nuclear weapons and the imperative of preventing terrorists from accessing them. The Peace and Security Council is the standing decision-making organ of the African Union, which is patterned along the United Nations Security Council to enforce AU decisions, particularly in matters relating to the maintenance of regional and continental peace and security. The Nigerian Army has extended its anti-terrorism and security exercise, tagged Ayem Akpatuma, also known as Operation Cart Race, in Taraba State by 2 months. Army Director of Public Relations Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, in a statement stated that the exercise needed to be sustained in more areas in the state in order to consolidate in the initial gains. Launched on the 20th of February, the exercise Cart Race aims to train troops in North Central and parts of Northwest on planning and conduct of military operations other than war, while sustaining the Army's constitutional roles of defending Nigeria's territorial integrity and maintaining peace and security. While stressing that the extension will facilitate the Army's efforts of ridding the affected areas of militants and other criminal elements, the Army has requested the public, particularly residents of the state, to cooperate with troops by giving useful and timely information to enable them carry out their constitutional duties effectively. After the break, Secretary to Ebonyi State Government resigns. Thanks for staying tuned. The Secretary to Ebonyi State Government, Professor Bernard Odo, has resigned his appointment. In his notice of resignation made available on the 2nd of April, Others cited lack of trust and confidence in him by his boss, Governor Dave Umahi, as the reason for his resignation. The former state scribe further revealed that the Umahi administration had not offered a conducive atmosphere for all members of the State Executive Council to sincerely air and express their views on sensitive policy matters, and therefore he was taking the decision to throw in the towel to protect his relationship with the governor. And in sports, the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League takes off today with an interesting fixture, which has Juventus FC squaring up against the Spanish side Real Madrid, while the Spanish club Sevilla takes on Germain's side Bayern Munich. Juventus on Real Madrid contest a repeat of last year's Champions League final when they meet at the quarter-final stage this Tuesday. The first leg in Turin gives Juve the chance to edge ahead against the Spanish giants, while in the second fixture, Sevilla and Bayern Munich, who came through contrasting knockout clashes to reach the last 8, meets in the quarter-finals in Spain this Tuesday. The games will be played by 8:45 p.m. local time. And on the foreign scene, Israel announced Monday it had reached a deal with the UN Refugee Agency to cancel a controversial plan to deport African migrants and replace it with a new one that will see thousands sent to Western countries. A minimum of 16,250 migrants will be resettled in unspecified Western nations under the agreement, announced in a statement from the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Netanyahu in January announced the implementation of a program to remove migrants who entered illegally, giving them a choice between leaving voluntarily or facing indefinite imprisonment with eventual forced expulsion. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Presidency reacts to OBASANJO'S criticism. Nigeria assumes chairmanship of AU Security Council. Army extends Operation Cat Race in Taraba State. Secretary to Ebonyi State Government resigns. And that's the news on Television Nigerian. But before we go, I leave you with this thought. Be the change that you desire, because the man in the mirror is you. I'm Eunice Johnson. Thank you very much for watching.